Hey there, friend. I'm Gaia, and if you don't know me, now you do. Moving on. So I used to date this guy, and I thought it was going to be hilarious for me to say to him every time he would mention an actor, "Oh yeah, he's very attractive. He looks just like my father," which it's an absurd thing to say. But the thing is that I want to show my true colors from the go-to, so that the people that I spend time with know how I am, and then they can decide if I'm their cup of tea or not. And his reply was very normal. He was a very decent person. It was very normal, but it also made me realize, gee, he doesn't think I'm as hilarious as I think I am. Because he just told me, "Oh, I didn't need to know that." And at first I thought, well, okay, fair enough. It's a pretty fucking weird thing to say. But then, second of all, I thought, why didn't you need to know that? Like, we just started dating. We barely know each other. Shouldn't this be, like, important information? Wouldn't you want to know if the person you're dating is actually attracted to their father? But then the last thing that I thought was, what if this happened to me? Like, what would I do if this happened to me? What would I react? How would I react? And I thought the most sensible course of action would just be looking at the picture of their dad, and that if he looks like you, then you have your answer without having to ask, the uncomfortable question. I think I'm gonna lose the hat. Okay, so I was at a Christmas lunch with my family, like an early Christmas lunch with my family the other day, and I had a moment of realization where I figured, wow, I'm the only person in this family who doesn't have a partner. And judging by what I just told you about my approach to dating, shocking. But also, then I realized, but okay, do I even want a partner? Not really. Not in the traditional sense anyway. So I was gathering notes and thoughts for my episode. And I recorded this episode many times before this one. And some of the things that I wrote, between the things that I wrote, like in the things that I wrote, there was also a list of things that people that I used to date within, the last year and a half, did. And why they were funny, but also why they made me realize, in retrospect, that they weren't the right person for me. And in one of the takes, I actually, start talking about this list. And then I rewatched it, and I figured, that's such a mean thing to do. Like, it wasn't done on purpose. Like, I didn't do it to be mean, but imagine you're one of the guys that dated me in the last year and a half. You're already upset because something it didn't last. And then you also see, like, a video of your freak ex-date or ex-girlfriend or whatever talking about things that happened to you too in not such a positive light. And I thought, what? Okay. The thing is that when I rewatched myself doing it, I figured, wow, none of these things made you leave. Like, you stayed. So if you stayed, is it really their fault? They were just being themselves. If you weren't happy with it, why did you decide to stay? And that made me realize that perhaps less, comedic, but more interesting focus point for this episode is the fact that sometimes people get stubborn about being with someone or being with the person they already are with, So either you're with someone and, deep in your heart, that there's something not the way it's supposed to be and you stay, or you're fixated on someone who doesn't like you back. In both these scenarios, again, nothing groundbreaking, but hey, Sometimes it's good to find someone in the middle ground, not someone who has it all figured out, but someone who is figuring it out like you, so we can relate to each other. I think that's nice. Anyway, I thought some people just shouldn't be together, but they get stubborn about it and they stay together for much longer than they should. And why? Nobody knows. I mean, some people know, but I surely don't. Like, I'm figuring it out. Fucking hell. As I said, I'm trying to find out. So, I don't have an answer to that. But also, if you're with someone or you're thinking about someone, but you have that gut feeling that they are not the person for you. Like, maybe they treated you poorly, maybe they don't reciprocate your feelings. Maybe there's nothing wrong with them, but you just feel that they really couldn't give you what you desire. Why are you staying? Either, physically, like, why are you staying in a relationship with them? Or either just in your thoughts. Why do you keep thinking about people who obviously don't care about your happiness? Or they just, they can't care. There's no maliciousness, I don't think, ever. I don't know. Maybe I'm naive. But being naive, honestly, these days, like, it's a bit of a superpower. Like the guy from Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. It's a survival strategy. So I think being naive these days, it's kind of, it's useful. Maybe I'm naive, but I think that we have many people in our lives that we will love and who will love us back in many different ways. Not all romantic, You can also find amazing friends along the way, or just simply people that will spend some of the way with you. That's the point. Like, you don't know who's going to stay until the end of your days. So that's just, that's a fact. But while you're figuring out who are the people who are going to stay, are you sure that you're putting some thought on whether or not the people around you make you feel appreciated, and most of all, make you feel like you can be yourself around them? Because I think, that's the only thing. If you feel like you can be yourself around them, if they don't criticize you harshly, or if you just, you feel appreciated for who you are, regardless of the shape this relationship might take, then those are the people who you should, keep around. But if the person you're with doesn't really get you, or doesn't have your same love language, or anyway struggles with giving you the things that you desire, I think that's a matter of, actually looking at two things collide. The love that you want and the love that you think you deserve. So if you really, really, really want love, but you end up with people who make you feel unappreciated, unseen, unattractive, who don't listen to you, who do not get curious about your life, who do not ask you questions, but at the same time claim to like you. For sure they like you, but they don't see love in the same way that you do, and you deserve to be surrounded by people who see love the same way that you do, at least enough to share, some time together and experience together happily. So are you surrounding yourself with people who make you feel appreciated and valuable? Are the people around you willing to get to know you really? Because if you like me, find yourself with a bit of a pattern of people who really didn't see you, for no fault of their own, but who really didn't see you. Maybe that's not on them, maybe that's just, it's your responsibility to be honest and actually say to yourself, okay, this is not working out for me, and then, reframe the relationship or simply leave. Yeah, there's nothing groundbreaking about this episode, and I just started doing this, so it would be crazy for me to think that every episode is going to be as structured and as valuable and as well made. Like, it's the end of the year for me too. I am tired and I'm feeling the winter, and I'm as confused as all of you. It is, the year of the snake. It's supposed to be a very tough year anyway, and it's ending in February, so good luck to you. But I know nothing about astrology, by the way. But okay. It's the end of the year, so it's a good moment for you to think about the things that you're bringing into the new year, and the people that you're bringing with you. Do these people see you? Are these people willing to talk about things when things get less easy, or there are, misunderstandings or points that are no longer in common? Are you feeling like you can be yourself with the people in your life? If you do, that's wonderful. But if you don't, it's not the fault. It's not their fault. It's not the fault of the people you have around right now. It's just your own responsibility to state to yourself, first of all, what is that? What is that you want? The things that you desire, the way you want to feel in a relationship of any kind. Again, I'm not talking only about romantic relationships. I'm just talking about the people in your life. Stating to yourself what it is that you deserve brings you a step closer to actually getting it, because at least you're being honest to yourself, and being honest to yourself, that's kind of the whole point. Again, enjoying the journey also when it comes to human interactions. If the people that you picked in your life, the people that you want to be in your life, make you miserable, why do you continue picking them? If you know they are not able to give you what you want. I think everyone deserves not to be a placeholder. We deserve to be chosen and to choose and to change our minds if that's what happens. I don't want to be anyone's placeholder, and I didn't want for the people that I met in the past year and a half to be placeholders for me until I found someone that would, fit me better. Pronto, pizzeria? You deserve people with whom you can be yourself. That's the bottom line. It's probably obvious, but maybe it isn't. Anyway. There's several people like that for everyone. You just need to be honest enough to yourself to actually, state what you want, and then find the people who match that without you tricking yourself into saying, oh no, it matches, when you know entirely that it doesn't. Okay. Happy holidays. I'll talk to you next time.